I actually think a lot of coaches aren't really good coaches. And here's why. They'll have a method that they claim solves all of your problems, but it probably works for about as many people as it doesn't. And that could be being generous. And I don't always think it's that these people are being disingenuous. It might not be intentional, but they're taking something that's worked for them and assuming that same rule applies to everybody else. In this video, I'm going to explain why that's not the right approach, why the principle matters far more than the method. And I'll also give you the actual principles that you should be focused on across training, across nutrition, so that you don't lose what's important in all the noise of different methods out there. Here's the trap that coaches and people fall into. Imagine somebody that for years has struggled with their weight, yo-yo dieting, not happy with the way that they look. And then one day they give keto a try, for example. And finally, this is the thing that clicks for them. And the weight falls off. They feel great in themselves. And naturally they think, you know what, this is the best thing ever. All of a sudden their clients are doing keto. All their content is around keto. They're producing keto meal plans and guides. All of a sudden, regardless of your background, training history, training goals, whatever it is, you're on the keto plan. The method that saved them, that works for them, becomes the method that everybody else gets. Now, if you swap keto out for fasting, CrossFit, high rocks, carnivore diet, paleo, high intensity training, high frequency training, whatever it may be, these are all methods. And the coach that goes all in on one method is typically using that same "it worked for me, so it will work for everybody else" approach. The problem is, though, a sample size of one doesn't tell us anything. For each one person that works well on a specific diet or on a specific training program, you'll probably find 5 more that do better on something else. The fact that one thing works well for somebody, even if it works spectacularly for that one person, doesn't tell you necessarily why it worked. And that why is the principle. When we're looking at the method and the principle, then the method is how you do something, how you implement the principle. The principle is the underlying thing, the reason why it works in the first place. There's one principle, but there's lots of different methods to achieve that. And this is the bit that's important. And this is what people use to package it up to sell it to you. Keto is cool, works well for lots of people, but it works because it implements a calorie deficit. The principle is energy balance. You eat more calories than you burn, you're going to gain weight. You eat less calories than you burn, you're going to lose weight. Keto is just one method of controlling the energy balance principle. You could do things like calorie tracking, intermittent fasting, 1 meal a day, a meal plan. It doesn't matter. What matters is that it's implementing the principle that you want. This can be interchanged, swapped around, mixed up. This cannot. And that's why a good coach understands the principles and uses a variety of methods. They'll choose the right method to suit the person that's in front of them. They realize that you don't have to go all in on one type of thing, because anything can work as long as it implements the principle that you need. And each person's going to need different methods to work for them. If, like I said, the methods are interchangeable, then what are the actual principles that matter? We'll look at both training and nutrition, starting off with nutrition. One, we've already mentioned it, energy balance, calories in versus calories out. Eating above maintenance is going to cause you to gain weight. Eating below maintenance is going to cause you to lose weight. And eating at maintenance is going to cause you to stay the same weight. That's number one. Number two is protein. You want to have sufficient protein in your diet to support your bodily functions, to support growth and repair, and also to keep you feeling pretty full throughout the day. 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight is a good blanket recommendation for most people. Number three would be food quality and fiber. Not all diets will implement this or will focus on this. For example, when if it fits your macros was a big craze. Their food quality didn't seem to be important at all, as long as carbs, fats and proteins and calories were fine. You saw people eating all kinds of concoctions. But things like paleo, for example, things like keto will have more of a focus on whole foods and healthy foods. That's a way of using a method to increase quality of diet, and also things like fiber intake as well. And I guess number four, which really is key, and this applies actually to both nutrition and training, is adherence. You could have the most optimal nutrition strategy, the most optimal diet, the most optimal training program. If you can't stick to it, it's kind of irrelevant. So sometimes it's better to be 10% suboptimal if that means you can keep it up for forever. Adherence is really, really important. It should be towards the top of the list. When it comes to training, again, we've got number one, progressive overload. Are you gradually doing more over time? Whether it's lifting more weight, whether it's doing more reps, whether it's running faster or further, are we gradually increasing the limit of what you can do? Number two is specificity. Bit of a mouthful again. Are you actually training for the thing you want to get better at? Cycling is a great way of improving cardio. If you want to get better at running, you probably need to be running. Number three is sufficient volume, intensity, and frequency. Basically, you need to make sure that you've got enough challenging work done throughout the week in line with your goals, whether that's in terms of lifting or cardio, or probably should be a mixture of both. You've got the minimum effective dose, which I've mentioned before. You've got the point of diminishing returns, at which point anything over and above this, you start to kind of get less back from your efforts. You should be placing yourself somewhere in between these two in terms of a range. And number four is recovery. Are you giving yourself adequate downtime to recover from the training that you're doing so that next time you step into the gym or you step onto the track or whatever it is, you've recovered enough to maintain the level of performance that you're looking for. And again, underpinning all this is that same adherence principle as well. Now, these principles aren't glamorous. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing sexy about them. They don't sell well. But once you understand these, you then haven't got to fall foul of scams online selling you their dream method that solves your problem, because you'll realize that actually, although whatever they're referring to may work well for one person, the chances are it probably won't work well for you. When you understand these principles, you have the freedom to try out different methods to find the one that's going to work for you. And that's what my job as a coach is to do, to help speed up that learning process for you, to try out different methods. I don't automatically know when I work with a new client what is going to be the best training split for them, what is going to be the best nutrition strategy. I have no way of knowing that just from looking at somebody or even just from asking them some questions. I can get a bit of an idea, I can have a steer, but ultimately, as we go through the coaching process, we try out different methods and we see what works, see what gets the best results, and then we double down on that. Hopefully you found this video useful, and if you are looking for a coach, be wary of somebody that claims to have the method. If anything, what that suggests to me is that they lack the coaching ability to be able to choose different methods depending on the individual in front of them. And if you want to work with a coach who will tailor the process to you, to what's going to work best for you, and help you find the right methods to implement these principles, then drop me an email or drop a comment below and let's chat.